NBC Universal's global advertising head, Linda Yaccarino, has resigned from the role. It comes after reports that linked her to the Twitter CEO job. That report was hot off the heels of a tweet from Elon Musk announcing he had found a new leader for the social media giant. He did give a name at that time, but put everything together, it seems like it could be Yaccarino, according to these reports, and that she's now left her old job. Wedbush Security says Musk leaving Twitter's head role could be a major step forward for Tesla, raising their price target on the EV maker. Senior equity research analyst and friend of the show, Dan Ives, is joining us now. Wait, Dan, you're in Thailand? Am I reading that correctly?
In Thailand, yeah. I'm here on a 2-week Asia trip visiting investors. So I'm in Bangkok today.
Oh, I was really looking forward to seeing you in your fun shirts in your New Jersey, in the New Jersey office, so to speak. But thank you so much for talking to us from there. So this is really interesting that Musk seems to be making this move. It's not as though he's not going to be paying any attention to Twitter, though. He's going to be, as he says, the CTO. So how much do you think he'll really be able to bring his full attention back to Tesla and his other endeavors?
Look, I mean, Julie, I think it was a significant overhang in terms of worried about distraction with Musk at such a key time for Tesla. I mean, as the arms race plays out, price cuts that we're seeing, and this was very important in terms of a distraction risk. Look, if it's Linda, and obviously it looks like, it is going to be her as the CEO, I view it as a home run hire because from an advertising perspective, it's exactly what Twitter platform needed, and now Musk could do what he does best.
Does this and Musk now being able to, hopefully near term, place more of his time at Tesla, make it better or more of it or more of a bull indicator if Elon's able to say, work on the 4680 battery and really work past some of the hurdles that have come to light there with Panasonic?
Look, Brett, I mean, he's the hearts and lungs of Tesla. So as a Tesla investor right now, you want Musk doubling down on Tesla, as well as, of course, SpaceX. The last thing you wanted was the distraction to continue. Look, at first he was going to stay on as CEO till the end of the year. They call it lightning in a bottle. I think it's a home run hire. And for Tesla investors, it's a relief on two ways. One, Musk distraction risk. And two, it's a great CEO pick that ultimately is really going to, I believe, help navigate the ship.
Dan, I want to ask you about what's going on at Tesla in the background here. And I'm talking about the huge recall that is happening for Tesla vehicles in China. Now, I know if you have a Tesla, you don't have to drive it back to the dealership and get them to keep it for a while. You do a so-called over-the-air update. And even though this is about a braking issue, it's happening that way. But still, where in a country where China that is, where Tesla has already had a lot of reputational hits, what does this do?
Look, I mean, they need to continue to sort of navigate the tightrope there. Clearly, there have been issues there, but it's the hearts and lungs of the growth in Tesla. And I think this is going to be a continued issue going forward that they need to start to contain. I think right now investors recognize that there's major steps in the right direction that have been taken, but clearly some more wood to chop.
Dan, within your coverage universe, of course, many of the companies have already reported earnings. And even as you think about what still is left in this earnings season, for the lust that there was for companies like Apple, companies like Tesla, and seeing what was in their reports that we could then point to for the rest of the earnings season, what we may hear from companies, it's largely been relief. Do you think that relief is just going to turn on to a sideways trade for the rest of this earnings period, given what we had already seen on depressed or compressed expectations for some of the tech companies thus far?
Yeah, look, I think investors were not correctly positioned. I think tech better than feared. We saw resilience on enterprise, saw it on digital advertising. Cloud continues to be robust, and these companies cut costs significantly. I think the trade in tech is higher. I think tech stocks are up another 10 to 15% rest of the year. despite the macro, despite some of the worries out there. And I think ultimately it's become the new safety sector. And I think now we're going to see more mid-cap tech start to catch up with big tech.
Some quick math tells me it's 8:54 p.m. in Bangkok, Thailand right now, Dan. So we will let you go, and hope you have a great weekend and 2 weeks over there, it sounds like, as well, working some sources. Dan Ives, Wedbush Senior Equity Research Analyst, joining us here from way downtown. Thanks so much, Dan.